The mule deer, Otocoileus hemionus, is a deer indigenous to western North America. It is named for its ears, which are large and resemble those of a mule. With a peaking population of 6.5 million back in the 1960s, that number has dramatically reduced down to 3.4 million as of 2024. Mule deer are considered to be the at most risk deer species in North America, and this loss is not without cause. Mule deer have suffered immense habitat loss, causing them to lose their precious winter grounds, seek out new wintering corridors, and otherwise compete with other ungulates. Those factors, along with drought combined with severe winters, increase in predation and disease, are some of those main factors for killing our precious mule deer. So if you've ever heard an old timer say deer hunting ain't what it used to be, it's because it isn't. Unfortunately, our parents and grandparents had the pinnacle of chasing these muleys in the West. But that doesn't mean mule deer hunting isn't going anywhere. It just means tags are harder to get and big bucks are harder to find, especially that big old mossy back. You'll have to work harder, go farther, and not settle for that 2-year-old off the main trail. As you can tell, I love mule deer. Heck, I started a brand and a channel called Muley Freak. And if I could only chase and hunt one animal for the rest of my life, it would be mule deer. I will show you 11 kill shots we've captured over the years and give you some tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way to hopefully help you increase your chances of taking down one of these majestic critters.
Number 11.
Mule deer are one of the most evasive species to hunt, except during the rut. You'll see old mature bucks throw all logic and smarts out the window when they're on the trail of a hot doe. And in this case, that's exactly the situation I had with my wife's second ever buck hunt, who was also, I should mention, 34 weeks pregnant at the time. We've been hunting this area with other hunters for weeks, and not once have we seen this deer. That's what's so great about the rut. You'll get new deer coming in and covering ground to find hot does to breed, and that's what happened on the last day of my wife's hunt. The temperature dropped significantly overnight, and with plenty of hot does in the area, this buck was tempted out of the safety of the thick timber and solitude to get a little action. I know this buck wasn't on high alert because I had a 2- and 3-year-old being as loud as they could be in my side-by-side. Even with all the commotion, he had his mind set on one thing. That allowed my wife plenty of time to set up and get comfortable behind the 7 PRC, dropping this buck at 367 yards with 175 grain Hornady ELDX. It hit him high lungs, offered some spine shock, and dropped him in his tracks. He ended up scoring 181 with triple cheaters coming off his right side. One of my favorite bucks of all time.
What was your doe called?
Well,
Cheaters.
last day of the hunt, I felt good about a shot and I took it and he went down.
Number 10.
In this film, Ty was deep in the Idaho backcountry chasing bucks in the snow. Going this deep can be risky because if there's too much snow, the deer will migrate out and head to lower elevations. But if you time it right, with just the right amount of snow, it can be what you need to get big bucks on their feet and start moving out of their thick timber hideouts. Ty and Steven were able to harvest bucks while pushing through knee-deep snow and dealing with extremely cold temperatures. Being in tip-top shape will help you go farther and increase your chances of harvesting a buck in the backcountry.
Are you on it?
I've got him.
All right, going hot.
Number 9.
In these clips, we have my wife Janessa and Tyler's wife Kylie. These hunts are both opportunities to get our significant others out into the outdoors from some quality time. It's also a chance to show them why we love hunting and being in the outdoors so much, and hopefully let them understand why we want to be gone all fall. Kylie had this buck hard coring away and dropped him right in his tracks at 203 yards away.
Hammered him.
You just shot a buck?
Oh my gosh.
Eric? Am I gonna get sponsored now?
Nessa's first buck was a mature 3x4. At 250 yards away, she studied the gun, placed a perfect shot, and he ran 20 yards before piling up from the 6.5 Creedmoor.
Got him. Hit him.
Oh, I'm shaky.
You just killed the next buck.
Oh my heck. It's a great buck, Ness.
Thank you. Thanks for your guys' help.
Number 8.
Sometimes you gotta mix it up and try new areas. We had been hunting the same spot all week, and the pressure of other hunters were making the deer hole up. On the last day, we decided to hike out and try a new spot. Right before last light, a 4-point fed out at 443 yards, and I hammered him with a 7 PRC with a 175 grain ELDX. I know if we wouldn't have tried a new area, I likely would have came home empty-handed. So, if your usual spot isn't working out, try something new. You might be surprised at the outcome.
Hit him.
You're the deer.
Finally.
Number 7.
I'm not saying you're guaranteed big bucks in Mexico, especially if you don't do your research about your outfitter and conduct various reference checks. I had to weed through a few sketch ones before finding Spencer of Old Mexico Hunt Company. The key to Old Mexico is being patient. You might go days without seeing much, but if you stick it out, you might go home with a 200-inch class buck on the last day.
Right there. Perfect.
Over him. Got him.
Number 6.
On this hunt, I'm with my buddy Murph. I've shot a giant buck with him a few years back, but this year, I'm back up with the twist. Murph had an extra management tag and had a few different deer he wanted me to take. We had this weird 2x3 with tons of mass that needed to be thinned from his herd, but we made a plan, and when we went to get the camera set up, the buck bounded away. But when one door closes, another one opens. As we were walking the field, we looked down to see a buck looking back at us through the sagebrush. He was a framey 3x4, and if you know mule deer, you know once a 3-point, not necessarily always a 3-point, but less favorable genetics anyhow. And this was another good buck to get out of the herd, being that he was mature and breeding does. I set up at 180 yards away with a 300 Norma, and let the 225 grain ELDM fly and watch the buck disappear in the sagebrush. The moral of the story is, look for management tags because a lot of places offer them for discount and you can still harvest a great buck.
Number 5.
Not to cast any shade at my good buddy Seth because I love the guy, but here's a good tip for all you flatlanders. Seth was coming from Nebraska where the average elevation is 2,600 feet, and Utah has an average elevation in the mountains of 6,100 feet. But when you're up in the mountains, it can be even higher, so catching your breath can be hard no matter what shape you're in. Best advice is staying in shape and getting acclimated to your environment because if you don't, there's a chance of getting high altitude sickness. If it gets too far out of hand, it can lead to permanent lung damage. Luckily for us, Seth was in shape and able to run to the top of the hill and make the perfect shot on this cheater buck with a 7 PRC.
He's going down.
7 PRC.
449 yards.
Number 4.
Muzzleloader tags offer great hunting opportunities in some states, especially Utah. There are often leftover muzzleloader tags as the season isn't nearly as coveted. Gone are the days of the old flintlock and in with modern tech. Modern day muzzleloaders have some mind-blowing capabilities and are more accurate and shoot farther than ever before. That being said, the rules are often much stricter. Be sure to check the state laws before you head out. I'm going to link to a good article below that gives you the rules in various different states.
Number 3.
Taking our youth hunting is extremely important. If we don't get our youth involved, there isn't going to be a future generation of hunters. And with all the tag opportunities out there for our youth, you might as well get your kids going because who knows, they could draw a tag of a lifetime. We work with a great nonprofit in Youth Hunter's Voice whose goal is to get youth out hunting. We were able to get Connor out on this late season deer tag and he was able to harvest this stud 4-point. Still one of our favorite hunts on this channel.
Okay, right, like that. Now wait till he stops. And now right there. That's got him. You hit him.
Oh, nice hit. Get another round in there.
Get around in there.
What do you think, buddy?
This thing's freaking huge.
Next, I was able to get my friend Judson out and his dad, and he made an absolute fantastic shot on this buck. And I loved going on this hunt because my kids were able to tag along.
Perfect shot, buddy.
All right, we're freezing. They're freezing in here, but they got him. Juddy, you got a big buck.
Big buck.
Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Big bucks.
Say it, Knox.
Big buck.
Number 2.
Hunting suppress has become more popular as lead times to obtain cans has significantly diminished. Silencers have a lot of benefits from protecting your ears from the loud concussion of the muzzle blast to reducing the rate at which game becomes alarmed. It only adds a little extra weight to your rifle and it's a lot more enjoyable to shoot. Your family, friends, and hunting buddies will thank you later. Paul was able to prone out and smoke this buck and we were able to enjoy the show without having to worry about ear pro.
Let me know if you're on him.
Right there, Paul.
You on him?
I'm on him.
We gotta wait till he stops.
Meh. Meh. Got him.
Hit him.
Down, he's on, he's on.
Did he go down?
I just saw him fall down. All right, doubled up, last day.
Dang, amazing, what a day.
Number 1.
If you've never experienced buck fever, you haven't hunted. Oftentimes it doesn't matter how big the buck is, it's always exciting to see antler, whether it's a big buck or a button buck. This is also why folks end up shooting smaller or more immature animals. They get too excited and end up shooting bucks that still need development. It's important to have good glass and really evaluate the buck you are eyeing and make sure it's one you really want to take. Because the only real way to shoot a big buck is to pass on the smaller ones. Don't settle for something you don't really want. Otherwise, you'll never shoot the buck of your dreams.
Hey guys, Muley Freak Eric here. Thanks for watching our video. YouTube thinks you'll like this video. Subscribe here. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one.